This is a documentary about pressure and the battles people never see. Listen to Paddy Pimblett's interview in July of 2022.
And I had some other horrible news the other day. 5 hours before I was due to weigh in, I woke up and found out one of my mates had took his own life. It's been a hard week, to be honest.
Paddy tries to recompose himself, but he can't.
Very hard week. As I said there, I just wish lads would talk more. Lads don't, they sit in and they bottle it up and they end up taking their own lives, something that they can't take back.
But those were more than just words for Paddy. He had gone through the same battle himself. In a Times article, he's quoted saying, "In 2018, after losing 2 fights, I was genuinely thinking about..." But to the world, Paddy was the next big thing in the UFC.
Well, you can argue not since Conor McGregor has an athlete come into the UFC and resonated with the fan base to the extent to which this young man has.
He was quick-witted.
I'm a Scouser. We don't get knocked out.
With a relatable haircut.
He's got very interesting hair.
Paddy the Baddy, Paddy the Baddy.
You weren't a fighter. What do you think you'd be?
I'd definitely be a diabetic.
He quickly became the most relatable fighter on the roster.
The king of the North is here.
The minute he came to the UFC, just magnetic to the people.
That's the Paddy the UFC sold us. A rising star, a fan favorite, a fighter who looked unshakable. But behind the lights and the roar of the crowd, there was another story. One that nearly ended before it began.
I grew up in Iton, lad. Well, Greystone. Not a typically bad area or nothing.
I'm the baby out of all the grandkids as well, so I was baby Patrick. That was my name for years. I'm just a normal kid from a housing estate in Iton.
It wasn't a typical fighter's origin story.
I was the skinniest kid ever, know what I mean? I was proper skinny.
I wanted to be a singer when I was a kid. I applied for Britain's Got Talent when I was like 12, when I was like 10.
Right.
Yeah, I'd done the talent show in like year 4 and year 6 in our school, and yeah, in year 4 I sang Where Is the Love by the Black Eyed Peas.
I enjoyed school and I didn't. It was funny sometimes and like I hated it other times. When I look back at it now, I hated it.
Singing didn't stick. He wasn't a fan of school, but then his longtime best friend introduced Paddy to the sport of fighting, and that's where everything changed.
Me mate Kyle Wilson, he lives around the corner from me still to this day. He was the one who showed me UFC. He showed me a fight, Clay Guida versus Diego Sanchez, and I was like, yeah, that's sick, that. And then it was through him, he knew someone called Joe Neal who trained, and I went to Next Gen because of him.
Yeah. And with that, Paddy started training before and after school, but his teachers didn't believe he could amount to anything.
The teacher, who's now the head teacher of the school, turned to me and said, what are you wasting your time with that for, Patrick? You're an academic, you should be using your brain. You're not big enough for any of that, you're too small for all that.
And I wasn't the hardest in my school, I wasn't the hardest in my year. You know what I mean? I was just a little kid. I just started doing something and put me heart, mind and soul into it, lad.
Just after me 16th birthday, lad, not long after me 16th birthday, I ended up getting, well, I didn't get kicked out, they gave me extended study leave.
I can remember him being in trouble, you know, day to day. And I think with Patrick, I don't think it was anything, you know, like major. I think it was an accumulation of different incidences.
But getting expelled from school was the best thing that could have happened to Paddy at the time.
And it happened at the perfect time.
Well, I know the exact date.
Love it.
It was the 20th of January 2010. I stepped on the mat in the old Next Generation in the 051 gym.
I was only training for about a week in the mornings, and one of the lads in the gym, Aaron, pulled out of his fight the next weekend. And I was only 16 at the time, and Paul said to me, do you want to take this fight? And I was like, yeah, of course I do, I'll take that fight.
With only a week of training and just at 16 years old, Paddy takes a fight against a 24-year-old.
Lost a little bit of weight and done the fight a week later and beat someone who was 24. You know what I mean? Just took him down, stayed on top of him, punching him on top, and I won the fight, and as they say, the rest is history, you know what I mean?
I just kept showing up and training like this is what I was meant to do.
What's your name?
Paddy Pimblett.
Okay, do you have a fight nickname?
My coach calls me Paddy the Baddy Pimblett.
Paddy the Baddy.
Paddy quickly started to make a name for himself as an amateur.
And I put a post on the amateur forum when I was like 4-0, 5-0 amateur, saying, I am the best amateur bantamweight in the country. Does anyone dispute this? So from that young age, at like 16, when I put that up, I've started getting used to like getting abuse. You know what I mean? Because like people are like, oh, these shit, this, that, blah, blah.
At times I didn't give a shit, other times I did.
Although he kept winning, the hate kept coming.
Whenever it got hard, I remember those people who talked shit about me.
He turned pro and dominated the premier fighting promotion in Europe, Cage Warriors, and won the lightweight belt. But in the midst of his Cage Warriors run, a problem outside the octagon was forming. Someone who I won't name was bullying Paddy online. And it may have seemed like a small thing to someone like Paddy, but its effect was greater than you'd think, to the point where he hired a private investigator.
You did, though, go after a certain troll, right? And you exposed the troll. Is that correct?
Yeah, we found him, you know what I mean? He was giving not just me stick, he was giving all sorts of people stick online. But
after countless insults and messages from this anonymous figure, the PI did find the man and exposed him.
Why did you feel the need to do that? Like, not just block him and forget about him?
because people nowadays, people lose sleep over stuff like that.
And for the first time since 2013, Paddy would suffer defeat. But then he would drop another fight the following year.
Back in 2018, after losing 2 fights, I was genuinely thinking about myself.
And then after that fight, lad, put everything into the build-up to it. You know what I mean? I'd trained my ass off and that, and I can just remember we went back to like the apartment we were staying, and some of my mates were up partying, you know what I mean, where they'd been up anyway, fucking, and I just went to bed, and I'm just sitting there crying. Nearly every morning for the next 6 weeks or something, I woke up crying. You lost that fight. Your career's over. You're finished.
It was always in the back of my mind that I could do it.
The stakes were high at the time. Paddy's fighting career was still in question, so his father was saving up to send him to trade school. So when Paddy dropped 2 out of 3 fights, he went to a dark place mentally.
Have I myself on my dad too? I mean, mum obviously, but they do.
As I say, I wasn't in the best place like 5 weeks ago. I actually messaged James's place, the place where I go to have a little bit of counselling. I actually messaged Jane, the woman who I go and see, and was like, can I come and see you? You know what I mean? Just to have a little chat and feel better. The fact I'm even here now, it's more of a reason, it's more of a purpose than just fighting.
It was about becoming a symbol to those who were struggling.
Yeah, you're Dana. I'm 16 years old. 5-0 NSAC amateur and a bantamweight champ in the UK. Guess we will be doing business in the future.
And 10 years later, he was right. After putting together back-to-back wins, Paddy calls for his shot in the UFC.
I said to me coaches and to my teammates, I was like, lad, once I win this, I'm going to say, Dana White, Sean Shelby, Mick Maynard, you've got Graham's number. Give him a ring and tell him, lad, because you want me.
Even like your signing hit the headlines more than just a standard signing. Did you feel that?
Yeah, I knew that anyway. I knew when I got signed that they'd make a big deal of it because I'm me.
I tell you one thing Pimblett is though, Mike, he's a fighter. Oh, he's a fighter. Oh, the big one! On the ropes! Oh! Baddy has done!
Paddy, UFC lightweight 1-0, man. How does that sound?
It's always gonna happen. Yeah, I'm infectious. You know what I mean? I'm very polarising. Some people love me, some people hate me. But you're gonna watch me fight.
I'm a Scouser. We don't get knocked out. I'm the new cash cow. I'm the new main man on the UFC roster.
Paddy Pimblett showed that he is the real deal.
Does not look like a fighter. He gets into the ring, beats the shit out of this guy, gets on the mic, gives the most electric interview I've ever heard. I say, hey, Paddy the Baddy, I'm a big fan. I want to sponsor you.
A 7-figure deal after just 1 UFC fight.
He's going to keep winning.
His knee. Here we go. This could be it. He's done it. Paddy has done it in London.
After a 2-0 start in the UFC, He's set to face Jordan Levitt, but in the lead up to the fight, Paddy's made aware of tragic news.
It's heartbreaking, to be honest, lad. Just kills you how a kid that age can go, you know what I mean? There's like 98-year-old people still alive, and then there's a 4-year-old kid dying like that.
His name was Baby Lee, and he had become like family to Paddy.
Paddy's made a real close connection with Baby Lee, a 4-year-old who had a brain tumour who passed away a couple of weeks ago.
I know full well he's going to be in there with me on Saturday. I know for a fact he is. That's why I know Jordan Levitt can't hurt me, lad.
It was more than just a fight in the cage for Paddy. It was almost a battle against the darkness of life that he had endured.
Jordan Levitt's not going to get near me, lad. I'm going to get into a proper flow state in this fight, and I am going to proper hurt him, lad.
This could be it. Got one under. This is it. That's tight. He gets it. He gets the tap. The Paddy party goes to the next level.
We'd learn after the fight that there was another layer to Paddy's grief. And then the emotions pour out.
5 hours before I was due to weigh in, I woke up and found out one of my mates himself, so it's been a hard week, to be honest.
No one knows the reality of what's gone on, but Friday morning, 3 AM, he's had a message saying one of his best mates has themselves.
There's no real words that can describe it, lad. He was one of the happiest kids you ever met, lad. Slick Rick. Life and soul of the party, lad. And
could you imagine being Paddy Pimblett, coming out to this reception and having to deliver when you're dealing with that heavy on your heart? So when he's gave that message in front of all of yous and he's been honest and he's told you everything about mental health.
There's a stigma in this world that men can't talk. If you're a man and you've got weight on your shoulders, please speak to someone.
I've had to do it, lad. People look up to me and think that I'm the strongest person on earth, lad, because I get in the cage and fight with people when the battle's up here, lad. People don't understand what's going on.
Nobody could have imagined the impact it would have by Paddy speaking out. He was actually saving lives.
I've had loads of comments and like messages and stuff, people saying, oh, without you I wouldn't even be here now and that, and it's mad, lad, it blows your mind. But like messages like that'll mean more than any win ever will.
The only things what isn't loved unconditionally is men. Women, kids, pets, they're all loved unconditionally. Men aren't.
I know I'd rather me mate cry on my shoulder than go to his funeral next week. So please, let's get rid of this stigma and men start talking.
From Gordon.
Him with that. With the left hand. Well, we said coming into this fight that this was going to be the most difficult test of Paddy Pimblett's career, and so far, that has been accurate.
Good jab by Pimblett, now the uppercut.
Good combination.
The fight had its back and forth moments, but the general consensus amongst the public was that Gordon was in control.
Could very well be enough to give Jared Gordon the biggest win of his professional career.
Even Joe Rogan told Gordon he thought he had done enough to get the decision.
For the winner by unanimous decision, Paddy!
Even Paddy's own fans looked confused at the decision.
Pimblett genuinely thinks he's won. What a shit fighter he is.
Paddy, that was a close one.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't close.
Do you think it was? You don't think it was a close fight at all?
Not at all.
I know I won that fight, simple as. I deal in facts, lad, and I won a unanimous decision.
Damn, everyone in our building was like, damn, Paddy lost.
They give him a Christmas gift right now because he clearly lost the fight.
And there's dialogue today. Paddy was exposed. Paddy lost that fight. Paddy's not as good.
Everyone's got an opinion, lad. The opinions are arseholes. You know what I mean? Everyone's got one.
Paddy's defiant response would quickly flip the tables on his image. Practically overnight, he went from one of the most loved in the sport to one of the most hated.
I saw you, by the way, you roll your eyes when Paddy won.
Shouldn't have won.
Straight after the fight, I was happy with it. And then when I watched it back, it was a lot closer than I thought.
But at this point, the community had already taken a stance. so Paddy had to deal with the heat.
I haven't handled it that well, to be honest, lad. It hasn't been easy. The amount of times I've been told I lost that fight, the amount of people that have just been giving me hell on socials and online and stuff like that, know what I mean? I've even been getting told by people to take my own life and stuff like that, so it's rough.
But Paddy has no choice but to move on, and he's scheduled to face UFC vet Tony Ferguson. At the time, Tony was on a serious losing skid, so the talk around the UFC was, what does this fight even do for Paddy if he wins?
Tony at that time was already on a long skid of multiple losses. The Chandler knockout, he gets front kicked in the face, and an epic KO loss. The Gaethje fight was horrific.
In an attempt at a revival, Tony had been training with former Navy SEAL David Goggins.
Another one for Paddy Pimblett. Is this just another fight for you, or are you pretty scared of Tony with David, or is this just another fight?
Absolutely nothing. He has nothing to gain from this fight. In his mind, he already lost. You care about me blocking you on Instagram. That's what you care about. You care about the most stupidest
You blocked me. I'm not that much of a little to block someone on Instagram.
He's got David Goggins in his corner, though.
David Goggins ain't got on me. When I finish Tony, I'll go over to David and say, who's gonna carry the boat, son? Who's gonna carry them? Because it's not him, is it?
Paddy was having major success while blitzing in on Tony from the feet. He controlled the fight from bell to bell. Beating a UFC legend should have brought Paddy some happiness, but that darkness was still there. Then the UFC announces Pimblett versus Green, and this was considered his first real test.
Look at this, Bobby Green and Paddy Pimblett's going to be crazy. That's a real test for Paddy.
Yes.
Bobby Green is a bad mother dude.
I think
he's hard to hit.
He's going to mop the floor with Paddy.
He might him up.
I don't watch his fights, so I really don't know much about the guy. I just see him doing this little thing. I'm like, who does that? We never met. He was being a little. He didn't want to look at me or give me the attention.
You had mentioned in an interview suffering with some mental health issues during this camp.
Those dark thoughts would creep back in on Paddy.
Go a few things personally, lad. It was just getting me down, lad, in a bit of depression and that. And then the haters on social media, lad, wow. Some of the comments that I got, lad.
Go and yourself. You're a disrespect to the country. You might as well just...
Coach pulled me to one side one day and was like, if we continue like this, then I think it's best that we pull you out. There's no point in putting you into a fight what you're not going to be mentally ready for. I was thinking, oh my God, this is the worst camp of my life.
What allowed you to turn it around?
Me kids, probably, lad. Know what I mean? I was thinking of me kids.
Once again, Paddy found a reason to keep pushing forward, and this time it was his family.
I'm in the shape of my life, lad, and kicked into gear at the right time, lad. Everything's fell into place, and
that's another reason I need to win. I have to win this fight, because then I can speak about that in the cage.
No one could beat me on Saturday.
But not everyone believed he was up for it.
So I'm going to have to go with Bobby Green. I think he's going to be the safer bet here.
Ooh, let's go with Bobby Green.
Yeah, Bobby Green.
You're the next one. Flat on your back. Don't touch me. Come on, let's go. Chill out. They can't send you now.
But when those voices of doubt enter, can you shut them out?
This is a real make or break moment for Paddy.
Green takes a shot and Paddy pulls guard and sinks in a guillotine. He then transitions to a triangle and then eventually finishes up with an armbar and submits Green.
For a second, but the triangle is tight. That's it. It's done. Paddy Pimblett by submission in round one.
To all you haters out there that said I'd never get a ranking, what now?
And after the biggest win of his career, all that online hate had now returned back to love.
The move the goalpost again now, though. Know what I mean? People will say now, oh, Bobby was old, Bobby's a has-been just because I beat him. Where before it was, oh, Bobby's going to punch his head in, he's not going to...
Paddy's one of those guys that everybody talks shit about, and everybody wants to fight him, and everybody wants to call him out, and he keeps winning. And he looked damn good tonight.
That was the best performance of his life. That was the biggest fight that the gym's ever had, and he nailed it.
People underestimate me. You know what I mean?
For Paddy and all of us, there will always be detractors, cynics, and critics who whisper our accomplishments but scream out our failures. Paddy's back and forth battle with mental health teaches us that just like in the octagon, life is an ongoing and everlasting journey that each and every one of us will face.
The battle's up here, lad. People don't understand what's going on.
It's nice to be nice. Whether it's homeless sitting on the street or whether it's me, should treat them with the same amount of respect.
I hope it's enlightened a few people and showed them that there is help out there.
Paddy finishes Chandler with ground and pound, and once again, he had proved the people wrong.
We came, we saw, we conquered. As I said I was going to do, keep doubting me. That's all I'm saying. Keep doubting me.
A fighter from a rival gym was bullying Paddy's longtime teammates. So given everything that Paddy had endured throughout his career, he had to step in and put an end to it.
Kids nowadays are too fast to grab knives and grab weapons and stab each other and ruin their own life, the other person's life. This is a good message for weapons down, gloves up. And at the end of it, you can shake each other's hands, just like me and Dennis did.
It wasn't about violence. It was about doing the right thing to teach a lesson.